Well, it's an annual event and a very popular one here in Sweden. Last year was a very popular event as well, and it was the Soviet Union, as was, that won last year, and it's the Soviet Union we're going to be seeing, or what was the Soviet Union we're going to be seeing in Game 1, the Commonwealth of Independent States, and they're going up against the team in red here, Czechoslovakia. This is what happened last year, the USSR winning 2 and tying 1. Interestingly, the one they tied was with the Czechs. That was a 2-2 tie last year. Sweden picking up the silver medal, and the Finns in 3rd place. Finland replaced this year by Canada. And as I say, all 4 teams are major medal contenders. Well, sitting alongside me, a man who knows all about ice hockey at the top level, A.Yaşin of the Nottingham Panthers. And Daryl, a very, very important tournament as the teams prepare now for the Winter Olympics in Albertville.
Yeah, as you said, Nick, this tournament is basically now being used by these teams as a build-up for the Olympic Games, and then now we're using this makes this tournament of a great importance to all 4 teams, and so this should be a real indication of what your medal prospects are during the Olympic Games.
Well, Game 1 underway. Czechoslovakia playing in red, and the CIS, the USSR as was, in white. And I think we have to say that if the CIS play as well as the old USSR did, then there must be favourites to do very well indeed in this tournament. And of course, very important for both teams that they settle down early. They'll both be looking for an early goal to calm those nerves.
That's right. This being the first game of the tournament, you can see.
Break on here. This is A.Yaşin. That's a goal straight away. Well, that's within the first 30 seconds or so. A goal coming in for the CIS. That's Herman Titov, number 13.
That was a good goal. That's one of their older players. The CIS are playing with a very young team here, and this Titov is 26 years old, and that was a nice goal. Nice to get a good start and settle down nice and early like this.
Well, a breakaway. He was on his own.
Yeah, it was a beautiful shot upstairs. Made the move on faked it both the defenseman and the goalkeeper for the goal. So 33 seconds was all it took for the CIS to open their account in this 1992 Swedish pre-Olympic hockey tournament. As we were saying, they both were looking for an early goal, but that will certainly calm the CIS nerves. Certainly, sure gives you a rush of adrenaline right off the bat to get a goal that early in the game.
And here they come again, that one broken up. We see Mr. Eriksson, one of the officials working today. The Czechs, well, a little bit shell-shocked by the start that these Russians have made. I say the CIS, not allowed to call them Russians anymore, although it has to be said that most of these players are from the Moscow area, 4 Moscow teams represented.
Well, it's the same as the CIS or the old Soviet Union, where it was the same, based on the 4 Moscow-based teams.
That was Lang. Robert Lang being caught offside there, and there's a familiar face to NHL veterans. Coach Ivan Hlinka.
That's right, he spent a few years in the NHL, and they did fairly well for a European-based player.
That's right, picked up by Peter Rosol. Rosol finding Kastak. Czechs getting forward here. A weak shot from defenseman Slager. All back again, and it's cleared up by the CIS, and here come the CIS on the break with Kudashov. It's Kudinov. Smirnov getting in there as well. Offside call against the CIS, so a bit of breathing space there for the Czechs, who make a few changes. Starting line for the CIS is number 16, Korolyev, number 13, Titov, who has already got himself on the score sheet, and number 26, Karamnov. We're going to see up front a lot of number 21, Chajarov, A.Yaşin, number 12, and Yakubov, number 11. And the Czechs bring it away, clear their lines.
As you can see, both teams are still feeling each other out, even with that early goal. There's nothing really adventurous going on. They're just trying to basically just get on with the game and try and see what's going to develop from there.
Bit of action on the boards there.
And nobody's really forcing this game at the moment.
into the CIS dugout. Well, early days, of course, but the CIS must be quite happy with the way this one started for them.
Yeah, that's right. You think this is the end of January that we're playing this tournament, and that, you know, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks from now, they're going to be playing in the Olympic Games. So this is right, just a build up through. For most hockey teams, it's like a normal 2 weeks going straight in. So you get like this in the beginning of an international tournament against teams that you could be playing with against in like 2 weeks' time, and maybe an Olympic prospect game. You know, looking for a gold or silver medal at that point.
Oh, the infringement there, Peter Herbeck. Titov goes in. 2-minute penalty for holding. Herbeck, the man he got hold of. So Titov really made his mark early in this game. Scored a goal and has drawn the first penalty as well. 2 minutes for holding. And back come the Czechs again. Good run forward there from Prochaska. But it comes to nothing, and indeed it's the CIS. Petrenko bringing it forward. A shot at goal there, well saved.
They didn't pick the man up on the rebound. They let the guy go free, and they almost got a short-handed goal out of it.
Yeah, the Czechs looking very, very uncertain at the back. Motkov for the CIA clears his lines, and here's Leo Gudas bringing it out for the Czechoslovaks. An offside call there against the Czechs. Igor Liba, the man judged to have got offside.
Yeah, the two-line pass there. They're trying to break up the ice so quickly, thinking they see some space, and that happens a whole bunch. For a bit of interference there. Oh, yeah, there is.
And Robert Svela could be in a little bit of trouble here, the Czech number 9.
It was a bit of an unnecessary move, that, really, I guess. But
Svela pays the price for interference. Let's take another look at it.
Yeah, he's just trying to give his man just some breathing space, and he made it a little bit too obvious, really. I mean,
So 2 minutes for Robert Svela to sit and think about it. And here comes the CIS. Kudinov leading the charge. Karamnov taking it around. The slap shot coming in, smacking it against the advertising hoardings, but still the CIS have it. Applying a lot of pressure here. Titov is waiting for it. This is Karamnov getting an opportunity there, but not quick enough. And the Czechs clear their lines, and they're looking to bring it away and counter-attack.
A nice defense play there.
Селянин putting his man against the boards. Made a good solid start at the back for the CIS. Sergei Селянин. And here come the CIS once again. Селянин, who is heavily involved, the number 4, hooking up with Petrenko. Petrenko turns his man, tries to get it across.
This is a good power play. The Soviets are setting up in the Czechs' end. This is what the CIS couldn't do. That's what the Czechs couldn't do against the CIS on their power play advantage.
Peter Breezer in the Czech goal is having a lot of trouble covering up this puck.
That's right. He's letting a lot of rebounds go, you're right.
Well, that's 2 potentially disastrous mistakes from Breezer in the Czech goal. He's got away with it. And still the CIS pour it on, and Breezer this time covers up. Good reflex save there from the Raman Luko player, Peter Breezer.
You're right, Nick. He does seem to be having a little bit of trouble in net. He's making the stops, but he isn't covering the puck up or controlling the stops that he's making. He's letting them spit out right in front, like that one there, that just right by the corner. That could easily be went in the net.
That was Yasin, just an inch or 2 away from profiting there. So it remains 1-0 to the CIS over Czechoslovakia. Traditionally, of course, these two very, very great rivals. Slap shot and a goal. Dmitry Motkov, I think that was number 5. Yes, there he is.
That was some smoke. That was a nice play. That's the advantage of winning a face-off there. I mean, and everybody doing their job.
Well, Breeza never saw that one coming. That slap shot from Motkov. Kudashov and Gordiuk may well get an assist on this one, but let's take another look at this one. Unstoppable.
It's not really a good angle, but if you see the man wins the face-off, everybody covers all the Czech players. It's an easy shot on net for the man, and he made a nice goal out of it.
That goal coming after 7 minutes and 21 seconds of the first period. So it is 2-0 to the Commonwealth of Independent States over Czechoslovakia. They have made an excellent start here in this first game in the Swedish pre-Olympic hockey tournament. Andrei Yakovenko in the penalty box. 2 minutes for high sticking for the forward for the CIS.
We'll see if the Czechs can set up a power play a lot like the CIS did on their opportunity, and see what happens here. If not, then the CIS will probably kill this penalty off like they did in the first one.
Well, the Czechs, the first opportunity, they seem to be lacking a little cohesion up at the front.
They didn't even get a shot on net, Nick, and that's the whole idea of having a man advantage. Got to get as many shots on net as you can.
And the CIS clear their lines, looking to break away is Bortchevich. But so far, good penalty killing this from the CIS.
The Czechs are starting to set up now. We'll see how they're going. They're controlling the back of the net, but still no shot stop. Overpassing, really, that is.
Back over the blue line, so they've got to come back. Marchenko. And offside there against the Czechoslovak forward, Veselovsky.
The Czechs just aren't settling down in the CIS end, and that's one of your major things you've got to do when you're on a power play.
So important, of course, to get a good start, but just midway through this opening session, still plenty of time for the Czechs to come back. 2 goals, of course, very little in European hockey.
That's right, especially in an offensive style hockey that both these teams play. I mean, they can score a couple goals as quick as anything, really, in a couple of seconds.
Broken up there by a good bit of defensive work there from the CIS.
CIS are doing a good job of killing this penalty, like they did in the first one. They've got their system sorted out, both power plays and penalty killing, and that's right at the moment where their advantage is over the Czechs.
Well, I can't think, we saw Andrei Trefilov there in the CIS goal, I can't think of a shot he's had to save yet.
I can't myself.
Now this, the second penalty opportunity for the Czechs. They really are not doing very much with it at all.
It's a wasted opportunity, really. When you have a man advantage, you can't even get a shot on net. I mean, there's really no need having the advantage. If that's the case, you can't even call it an advantage at that point.
Well, the crowd not making too much noise. I can tell you there's around 3,500 in the Globe Arena in Stockholm for this one. But I'll tell you, when we get the next one, Sweden against Canada, I think we're going to hear the decibel level go up a little bit.
I reckon so, Nick. The home game for the Swedes, really, that one will be.
Plus Canada, the team they all want to beat. Getting it across there, that was smart move there from Slager coming up from the back. But again, the Czechs, the puck just not rolling for them.
It was a good stop, actually, by Trefilov in the net. Yeah, it was a real nice stop that he made there. It was a desperation play, and he got in front of it.
Andrei Trefilov getting pressed into service for the first time, and coming up trumps 13 times. Capped for his country. And here's a fella waiting to see if he's going to be allowed to get back on. Yakovenko.
Yeah, the CIS, or the old Soviet Union, they're still looking for a world-class goalkeeper like what they had in Trečak back in the 70s and into the early 80s, and they still haven't been able to achieve that. Look, they've got a good enough team otherwise that it's made the difference for them over the years.
Yeah, very strong defensively. And that's the bad news for the Czechs, who trail by 2. Again, more pressure coming in from the Czechs. The puck down in that bottom right-hand corner. It's all tied up. That's Rosol trying to get it away, but it's the CIS that come away with it instead. Rosol now chasing back. And this is a strong, powerful run forward there from the CIS. The line's cleared by Smmirnov.
So a lot of one man going forward and nobody else adding any support for him from both teams at the moment on their moves forward. That's quite unlike both these teams to play like that. I think there's still a little bit of nerves, even though that we're halfway through this first period. That's still showing up.
Broken up again by Titov, the man who got that first goal after 33 seconds, and Titov being forced around the boards. That's good, strong defensive work coming in there from Skeban. And Titov has drawn a bit of a crowd, but still the Russians have got the ball. Karamnov, and Karamnov is getting it back, and a slap shot coming in, and that one just goes just past the post. But still the CIS keeping the pressure on.
Don't know if the goalie got a piece of that one or if they threw a defender in front of it.
Good pressure this from the CIS, but the Czechs get it away, and that relieves the pressure, just making sure that Trefilov hadn't gone to sleep there. Well, the game picking up tempo a little bit here.
It is. This is more like Czechoslovakian hockey right there, breaking as a unit there, making some pretty nice passes.
And of course, with the Winter Olympics just a matter of days away, I think it might be fair to say that both sets of coaches will be thinking, well, we don't want to give too much away to the other guys.
That's the thing. I mean, this is a build-up tournament, but the real stuff happens in, like you said, a couple of weeks' time. So, like you said, they're not going to give anything away, so they can use it later on.
Good glove there, save there from Trefilov. Let's just take another look at this one.
Yeah, he really got his hand in front of that. You know, that thing was moving a bit, I'll tell you.
That was moving. Trefilov, though, wasn't moved.
No.
Now, once again, the Czechs attempt to break away, but a loss of control there. That was a shame. М.Страка just lost control of the puck. But the Czechs starting to dominate between the blue lines a little bit at the moment.
They're going to have more possession of the puck and actually a little bit more area possession, too.
Another glove save from Trefilov.
Yeah, the Czechs aren't expected to be one of the medal contenders. I mean, they're expected to be one of the contenders, but they're not really well fancied to win anything in the Olympics. But the way they're playing here, they can get rid of that little bit of nervousness and get their cohesion together. They could be a real medal prospect, actually, looking at them from this point of view.
Well, they're starting to settle down here in this first period. Well, that's the scoreline that counts as far as the CIS are concerned. And again, Trefilov covers up. We've seen a lot more of Andrei Trefilov in action in the second half of this first period than we did in the first, when really the Czechs made that dreadful start, giving up 2 goals and doing virtually nothing going forward.
That's right, and it's sometimes a little bit of a hole that they've dug for themselves, and they're going to have to come out of it.
Well, a face-off in the CIS zone. Battling for it is Lang. Lang is hustled out of that one, and the CIS clear their lines on a breakaway. No, that'll be called back.
Yeah, it's an icing call, that one. Like you said, up until a certain point, I don't think Trefilov had a shot on net. Now he's been the busier of the 2 goalkeepers, and he's doing a good job. He's made a couple of real nice stops there that could easily have been goals.
Czechs don't get that one, they keep it in, and it's past the blue line. They'll have to start again. Rosol sweeps it back. Pushed forward. Dumped in, taking it around and coming back though, the CIS. And another icing call there.
It is. It's amazing. The Czechs are now just got the CIS just hemmed in their own end. They just can't put the puck in it. I think one of the things is the Czechs aren't really getting any really good scoring opportunities, or they're not making any.
It's Karramnov on the breakaway, and Karramnov.
It's offside, that was by a mile. Man was forced off before he got in there.
Janecki made sure that Karramnov didn't get up to anything. But a good strong break out of defense there from the number 26 for the CIS, Vitaly Karramnov. Plays for Dynamo Moscow. Here he is.
There's a man just being forced offside in front of him as he went through. It's the first break forward that the CIS have had probably in the last 5 minutes of play.
Titov, the guilty man for the CIS, the man who got the first goal. Inside the final 60 seconds of this opening session, another long slap shot coming in, the rebound.
That's a good stop, that.
Covered up well by Trefilov. You wonder whether he should have let it go in the first place, but he certainly did the job second time around.
Well, this man picks up the rebound around the defender that's guarding him right here. Didn't get a lot on it, but those are the kind of ones that go in the net because it was a smart play by him, and it was a good stop by Trefilov in the net.
Down low to his left. Trefilov covered up, and once again, he frustrates Czechoslovakia. Well, I think if they can go in with this 2-goal lead intact at the end of the first period, then a lot of credit must go to this goalie.
The way the second 10 minutes of this period's turned out, definitely.
Icing once again. Just 22 years old, Trefilov.
He plays for Moscow Dynamo, which is what most of this team is picked from. They're one of the top two teams in the Soviet Union, in the CIS as it is now.
The breakaway from the CIS. Kudashov trying to get it across. That was Smirnov coming forward, but it's broken up again. And the Czechs on the counter-attack. Taking it around, dumping it across. Nobody there, nobody home for the Czechs. And once again, a breakaway coming up here. Kudashov, the man tripped up. Oh, in the last few seconds here of this first period, and that's Tomas Jelinek on his way, and I think Viktor Gordiuk for the CIS, number 10, will also have incurred the wrath of the officials.
I think the Czech grabbed him there, and the CIS player wasn't too impressed by that situation, and they kind of give him a push or an elbow or something like that.
So Jelinek goes in for holding, and there indeed is Viktor Gordiuk. He has drawn a 2-minute penalty, we believe, officially for roughing. There it is.
I'm pleased you're trying to pronounce these names, Nick.
And that brings the first period to a close. So 2-0 to the CIS at the end of the first period against Czechoslovakia here at the Globe Arena, Stockholm, in this Swedish pre-Olympic hockey tournament. And Daryl, in the intermission, I wonder what the two coaching staffs were saying to their teams.
Well, I think the Czech coach will have been saying, "Oh, keep what you've been doing at the end of that period," because they basically had all the play. The only thing they failed to do was score, and that was because they weren't getting really good quality chances. But the CIS couldn't get out of their own end. And I think the coach of the CIS team would basically be telling them, settle yourselves down, play the way you did in the first couple of minutes, and try and get yourselves sorted out, and don't be intimidated by this more experienced Czechoslovakian team.
Yes, because certainly as far as the CIS are concerned, yes, they have the 2-goal lead, but as we saw there's no way they can rest on that.
No way. They were dominated near the end of that period to a point where I think in the last 10 minutes they maybe had 2 breaks forward from that point onwards.
Another break on here. Leo Gudas will have to get to that one and clear his lines, and should have done so. And again, the Czechs break hard and fast. Fluffed shot there coming in from Kastak. The puck just getting away from him as he was ready to pull the trigger. And the CIS clear their lines.
Two-line pass there. It's amazing to see that they seem to dump the puck in when it's a last choice, and they don't do it very well like where North American teams play more of a dump and chase type of game. They're used to doing this. These teams, if they're lost, then they'll just throw the puck in and more or less give the puck up.
Physically, of course, this is a very different game from what we're used to seeing on screen. Bump and grind of the NHL.
That's right. That's brought up by two reasons. One of the reasons this rink is a lot wider and a lot longer, so it's harder to find somebody near the boards sometimes. And on top of it, these teams are traditionally more skate and finesse oriented teams through the bump and grind, as you said.
The breakaway on here for the Czechs. Good save once again from Trefilov. That was Rosol on the break.
It was a good stop. He came out and cut down the angle well. I don't know if the Czech might have been able to make even a better move than the one that he took the shot with.
I think Peter Rosol will be a little disappointed with his finish there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But nevertheless, once again, Andrei Trefilov in the CIS goal, equal to the task, and so it stays at 2-0.
Yeah, Trefilov has right now been the difference between these two teams, where at the beginning of the first period, the goalie for the Czechs, I think it's
Peter Brisa.
Brisa, yeah. That's right. He was a little bit shaky at the beginning of that period, and they scored 2 goals at that point.
That's right. Yeah, there could have been more.
That's right. What work he's had to do since, he's been okay with, but Trefilov just seemed to have settled into the game right off the bat.
We've got another icing call against the CIS, and really the early stages of this second period are following on from what we saw at the latter half of the first period. The Czechs pretty well dominating things, but not where it counts in front of the goal.
That's right. You've got to get in front of that net and get some good quality shots, and then that's the thing that they're not doing. They're doing everything else fine. They're getting into the CIS end, they're dominating the play, and they're moving the puck around. They're just not getting good quality shots, which in any sport, where shooting and scoring is involved, that's what you've got to do. And that's why they haven't scored any goals at the moment.
Face off here deep in CIS territory. Wait for the drop from the official. And he's not happy with something. This one's coming back. CIS try to clear their lines, fail to do so. They get another opportunity this time. But again, the Czechs manage to keep it in. The pressure stays on, but third time lucky for the CIS. And again, no shot from the Czechs. Well, opportunities there on his own. Radek 2-pile in front of the goal. If only they could have got the puck to him.
That was Trefilov again, made a good play. He made a partial stick check that threw the man off in front of the net. Trefilov seems to be the one name I can't pronounce of all these players here next, so I think I'll keep using it. Well, as long as he keeps playing like this, I think I will.
It's a good job he's busy.
Yeah.
I tell you, if they substitute him though, the guy they replace him with will be Nikolai Chajbulin.
I hope they don't substitute him then.
And there's a young Czech fan here at the Globe Arena. Well, still got a smile on his face, even though his countrymen are trailing the CIS by a couple of goals.
That's about the most aggressive spell of this whole game right there. I think there's about 4 body checks thrown in that area there.
Well, looked like the stick was held there. Alexei Yazjin seemed to be the victim of some holding there. Now let's see what the decision there is. Once again, it's our old mate Tomas Jelinek. Well, he went off at the end of the first period for holding. Let's see if we can see it from here.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah. I think that started out like he was pretending he was being hooked, but That was obviously a whole hold, and let's see if the CIS can settle down like they did in the first period and set up a good power play.
Well, on the power play, another 2-minute penalty for Jelinek. He's only been back about a minute and a half, and he's straight back in the sin bin once again.
You see the Czech coach not being extremely impressed with that kind of move.
Marchenko clears his lines. The CIS with time to build. Oh, that one had a bit of a zing on it, didn't it?
Yeah, that was flying. That took a goalpost, definitely. That was a hell of a shot, that was.
Let's have a look at Alexei Kudasov's effort. That not far away.
It was right off the crossbar. That was a good shot. He shot it around the defender, so he got a screen on it, and the goalie didn't see much of that.
I think we could forgive him that one.
Yes.
Just a 7 centimetre lower, and that was number 3 for the CIS, but it stays at 2.
You almost see from this power play how the game has changed since the beginning of the first period. The Czechs are now killing these power plays quite simply, without an exception with that shot that just hit the crossbar. The CIS aren't settling down at all in there, and the power play is really for naught, really.
Mistake again from Breezer, doing his best to cover his lines, but Breezer in the Czech goal does not fill you with confidence.
I noticed both these goalies. That's the only part of Treffilov's game that I'm not too impressed with is coming out of the net and trying to control the puck. Besides that, he's been good, but Breezer's having trouble with that too.
Yeah, you think of some of the top NHL goalies and they're solid, immovable rocks that...
Oh, they're just like having a third defenseman out there. They set the breakouts up and everything, and I think it's something that the international goalies... Ooh, that's close. It's something the international goalies are still having a bit of trouble coming to terms with at the moment.
Breezer came to terms with that. Slap shot there. And the puck in midfield. Prochurov gets it back again and gives it away. Augusta trying to get it in. Still the Czechs have it. Sherban.
That was a good stop. You screened on that.
And the CIS with a chance to get it away. Once again, the danger passes. And the Czechs still got it in there, but now the lines are cleared. But back come the Czechs once again. Augusta, who is third in terms of the depth charts, so they're wheeling out everybody. There is a fourth forward line for the Czechs. Well, it looks like the third string are getting an opportunity here. And this really, as we've got to stress again, well, obviously national pride counts for a lot, but the primary objective is to get absolutely fit and tuned and ready for Albertville.
That's right, you got to get yourself sorted out now for the Olympic Games. All 4 of these teams doing it. In the Olympic Games, you only get one shot at the team that you're playing against unless you make it through to the medal rounds. So the amount of high-quality competition that you can play beforehand is of extreme importance to all the teams that are participating.
Bit of rough stuff there against the boards. Leo Gudas, the Czech defenseman. He's not afraid to mix it up a bit. An offside call there against CIS. Sergei Селянин comes off. Filimonov takes his place on the bench as well. And we're ready to get back to the action. Second period, 2-0. The Commonwealth of Independent States lead Czechoslovakia. 2 goals in the first 7.5 minutes. broken up very smartly by Zemlika, and it's Zemlika on the counter-attack here. Shot coming in from Tupal, but
there's a good example of what the Czechs are doing wrong. They got, the first guy had a good chance to shoot, and he decided to overpass and not get a good shot away.
3 Czechs in a line there. Shot coming in from Jelinek. Eventually, well then, I think that might have been a little bit tripping there.
Yeah, I think so. There's a little bit of, could have been a touch of a dive there too, but there's definitely an infraction there.
So off goes Селянин. Let's see if we can take another look. Well, some theatricals, but oh yes, that's not much question about that.
Yeah, he got the stick on him. Sometimes a guy fakes like that, it can actually put the referee off from actually making the call, and please didn't, because it was definitely a trip.
Well, he's gone in for holding officially, but I must admit on the replay that looked more like a trip, but it was a bit of everything coming in there from Sergei Селянин.
I guess the official doesn't really have the benefit that we do of seeing the replay.
2-0 then, the power play coming up for the Czechs. 17-13 gone in this second period.
This is the Czechs' chance to really pull the. They got the dominating the play up until now. They've got a chance right now to go score a goal and bring themselves back into the game at the moment.
Yeah, inside the final 2 minutes of this second period. Back clearing his lines. Slager. And well, this could be trouble for the CIS. I think Alexander Karpovcев could well find himself put away for hooking there, and if that's so, we've got a 5-on-3 coming up.
That's right. Yeah, there he goes. This is the chance right now that the Czechs need. I mean, the 2 men off, they got a chance to score 2 goals and tie this game up before the third period starts, or get themselves into the third period exactly the same way.
The CIS have 1 minute and 40 seconds to hold out 5-on-3. Karpovcef off for hooking. So 5-on-3. If the Czechs are going to get themselves into the game, they won't get many better opportunities than this.
Now, sometimes in a hockey game, you only get 1 chance or 2 chances, and this is definitely 1 chance that the Czechs have right at this moment. If they can't do something now, then they're going to struggle from now on in to get themselves back into this game, I think.
Psychologically, I think a key couple of minutes coming up for both teams. Just 2 minutes and 7 seconds left in this second session, and 1 minute and 40 of that will go 5-on-3, unless, of course, the Czechs manage to get a goal in that time.
That's right.
So, can the Czechs break the defense of Trefilov, or will the CIS hold out? Well, Trefilov just about gets it on the second or third attempt. So the immediate danger passes. Trefilov will take his time here.
He made a nice stop here. See how he comes out and challenges the shooter. That was a hard shot, and he came out to see that. Just lifts up off the puck, but his defense comes in there and covers up for him.
Trefilov, Andrei Trefilov, just 22 years old.
He's really impressed me, Nick. I mean, he's done a real good job. Once I think I said it earlier in the period, he's the real difference between these 2 teams at the moment. Or to be exact, he's the only thing at the moment that's holding the CIS ahead because he's made some tremendous stops in this game.
On the face-off, Czechoslovakia continue to pile it on. 5-on-3. That was a good move. And again, Trefilov.
A tremendous stop. It's a great move and a tremendous stop.
They're going to go for the repeat. Taking their time. The slap shot comes in. That one hits the boards, but it's not away yet. And it's out. The danger passes. The 3 men for the CIS are earning their money here as well. This is very hard work for them. Petrenko, Filimonov and A.Яшин. Once again, Czechoslovakia look to build.
Well, they realize too this is a time where the Czechs could get back into the game, so they got to do the utmost they can.
Inside the final minute.
Well, that was close there. Just missed on that final pass.
The clock continues to tick away. Here's Harava trying to keep it in. They've got to do it all over again. The CIS back up to 4. The 5-on-3 has gone. Great penalty killing there.
Yeah, that's one opportunity gone for the Czechs right there.
Inside the last few seconds then of this second period. And if it stays like this, I think the CIS will go in and breathe a huge sigh of relief. Because this second period has been pretty much one-way traffic. Well, the Czechs must be wondering, what are we going to do to get it past this guy, Andrei Trefilov? Here they come again, continuing to press forward. Right on the hooter. A bit of aggro, but it counts to nothing. Comes to nothing once again. Czechoslovakia to get it right. They trail the CIS 2-0 going into the third period. And when you think they had a 5-on-3 for something like 1:40 seconds at the end of that second period, Darryl, you have to fancy now the CIS to hold out.
Yeah, that 5-on-3 has now done the CIS probably more good than the Czechs have. The Czechs didn't score. CIS are probably feeling real good about themselves. It was almost like scoring a goal at the end of that period. So I wouldn't be surprised if CIS really start to dominate this game now and really come after them. So the Czechs must be feeling down about not scoring there. That's a real wasted opportunity.
Here come the Czechs again. And I think we're going to see a bit of hooking there. Vitaly Karamnov. Number 26, there he is. The guilty party. Again, a nice theatrical dive from the Czech player, just to make sure that the referee saw it. And I don't think there was too much doubt about that one.
Oh, there's definitely no doubt about that. Here's an opportunity once again for the Czechs. I mean, they're getting enough opportunities here to, I mean, a 5-on-3 at the end of the last period, and right here, right at the beginning of this period, bingo, they get another penalty, another power play. So they've got a real chance to get a goal back and really come after the CIS.
Well, the penalty killing for the CIS, of course, has been very efficient indeed. But how long can it go on for?
Well, they're getting a lot of penalties. I'm quite surprised by the Soviets, as they were, and are now the CIS, have always been a very disciplined type of team.
Oh, touch of the NHL's coming in there. But play goes on.
Surprised they ignored that so much. Because there wasn't anything really that vicious about it, so the referee decided to leave it there.
Yeah, and it's all sorted and no problems there. Spotted Viktor Prochorov was the CIS player involved, but here's a break on for the Czechs, and again, good work coming out of his net from Trefilov, frustrating Martin Č.Straka.
I think Č.Straka did the right thing there. Č.Straka just made a really nice stop there, came out there and stopped him on the deke. He tried to go around him and he made the stop.
Well, of course, going into the third period, I think goalies everywhere, if they're honest, they start thinking shutout at this time, don't they? But
yeah, it's a word that's not mentioned in the dressing room by anybody, right. But they've got to be. He's got to be thinking on. He's playing so well, and his team's got to be thinking. They've got to be confident with him anyway. That's for certain. No matter what the situation is.
Well, here's a guy that's certainly making his mark, just coming up to the Winter Olympics, saying, "Leave me out if you dare." But it's still all happening in the CIS end of the rink.
But the Czechs once again aren't getting any shots on net. The CIS are doing a great job here of keeping them on the perimeter and not giving them a chance to shoot. Now there's an opportunity, but they took the shot away from the man.
And a nice slow steady breakaway just to relieve the pressure, and dumped in by the CIS.
CIS are a real strong drilled unit. You can see that the way they're killing these penalties. They know exactly what they should be doing, and that's what's nullifying any chance of the Czechs having a shot in net or a good scoring opportunity anyway.
The power play over. We saw Karamnov coming back. Yet another opportunity goes begging for the Czechs, and here come the CIS on the breakaway. Rosol there didn't know where it was. He had his back to the puck. Still the pressure on. Nobody there for the CIS. And the Czechs should look to clear their lines here. I suppose the most famous Czech in NHL terms must be Jaromír Jágr at Pittsburgh at the moment. That young man that really is set for a brilliant career.
He's set for a brilliant career. He is now. I mean, there have been some quite good Czechs who have played in the past, but Jágr's one of those players who will be good.
An opportunity there once again.
That was a great defensive play, I think, by the defenseman. I don't even think the man got the shot away there.
Good move with a weak finish coming in from Kudinov for the CIS, but a good build-up, and the finish just lacked a little bit of sting.
Hey, getting back to Yager, he's only he was only 18 years old last year, and you know, living in a foreign country at that age, he's playing so well. If he doesn't become the best Czechoslovakian hockey player in the NHL, then there's something really wrong.
And a guy that's not intimidated easily. He's had all the goons after him, hasn't he? And
that's the whole idea.
Bounce him back.
In the NHL, that's the whole idea of playing against a player like that. Try and intimidate him. If they can't intimidate him, then that's the end of that ploy. You got to try and nullify his skills somehow, some way else.
Czechoslovakia looking to clear their lines again. CIS coming back into it in this third period.
Yeah, I think this stems from them doing so well in the power play and realizing maybe now that maybe the Czechs aren't going to score and come back, and they can open up a little bit.
Icing the call there against the CIS. Well, last year, of course, they won this tournament as the USSR. 2 victories, one over Finland, one over Sweden, and a draw with the Czechs. The Czechs do like to raise their game when playing what used to be the Soviets.
Yeah, well, these two nations are notoriously don't have a lot of love lost between them, and they always raise their games to play each other. Like you said, the Czechs probably always play their best games against what was the Soviet Union, now is the CIS.
It's Karamnov pinned against the boards by Shkerban. It's Shkerban that wins that battle. Pass played without looking to see if there was anyone there. A little shove in the back, perhaps. Yeah, penalty called there. And let's see what the officials make of that. Certainly a bit of hoo-ha going on there, and it's Patrick Augusta that's going off. We'll have to wait and see what the official makes of that one. I'm not sure. I've got a good view of it. Let's have another look at it, Daryl.
It looks like he might call hooking, I think, there. You laid the stick across him pretty quickly.
And there's Augusta that has gone, and slashing is the official call. I didn't quite see that, but...
it must be just the way he laid the stick across his body as he went across. So I thought he might call the hook, but slashing. There was definitely a penalty there, so it's just interpretation where he was there.
So the CIS go to the power play with 5 minutes gone in this third period, and protecting the 2-goal lead that they've had since 7 minutes and 21 seconds.
We'll see how the CIS have done fairly well, except for the last power play opportunity. We'll see how the swing in the game's gone. See if they can set up and control the Czechs and maybe score another goal and really put this game out of reach.
Well, they're certainly dominating so far. Less than 15 minutes to go now.
They've had a lot better third period than up to now than they did in the last period or the end of the first period. They're actually starting to play the way they did at the beginning of the game. I think a little bit of confidence, a little bit of lack of confidence for the Czechs. That sure looked like offside, yeah.
As Boris Mironin plays his club hockey with CSKA Moscow, which is the army team.
Yeah, Red Army. They for many years were the #1 team in the Soviet Union. And what part? Well, quite a bit of this team is picked from.
Now the Czechs trying to mount a counter-attack. Martin Ň.Straka going forward. Ň.Straka, who had that shot saved earlier, forced back out. Gets it across. Svihala couldn't do anything with it. Now Kastak with an opportunity, but the Czechs pushed back, frustratingly for them. Once again, very good cover work from the CIS.
Well, the Czechs are still killing a power play here. They're doing a pretty fair job. I mean, let's put it this way, the CIS aren't getting a shot on net at the moment while they got the puck. Unfortunately, this isn't helping the Czechs at the moment, trying to score goals and get back into the game. Once again, the steady build-up coming up from CIS.
They're in no hurry. Glove save from Peter Brisa. I think they were just checking he was still awake there.
Yeah, this is where you have your problem. If you're behind and you're doing a good job of penalty killing, I mean, that's okay killing a penalty off, but when a penalty comes up, you're not really attacking or getting any chance to score any goals. So, a good thing one way is that they're killing the penalty. The other way is they're not getting a chance to get back into the game and tie this game up.
Oh, the penalty bites the dust. Neither side really, has to be said, has looked like scoring after those first two opportunities for the CIS. And when either team has had an opportunity, they found the goalkeepers have been up to the task. Another naughty boy goes into the sin bin.
That one was pretty obvious. If they show this one, he really slashed the player that he was up against. Once again, it's not helping the Czechs out trying to come back into the game.
Peter Rosol's had a disappointing game, I think. Has to be said, not one of his better games. Been relatively ineffective and now has to sit out the last few minutes.
He's one of the more experienced players. He's played for the Czechoslovakian team quite a number of times, and I guess he's just saving himself for the Olympic tournament, I reckon.
Well, you don't win 149 caps for your country by accident, that is for certain.
Oh, that's true, especially in a great nation, great hockey playing nation like Czechoslovakia.
Good save coming in there from Brisa as the Czechs struggle to kill another penalty. Good build-up work again from the CIS. Another goal now, you suspect, would wrap it up.
Oh yeah, this is a lot better than the last power play they had. They're really setting this up.
Patience, of course, a feature of CIS football, ice hockey.
They've been like this for many years, looking for the one good shot and the one good chance to score a goal, and that's the way it is. You've got 2 minutes to score a goal, so why not take your time and take the best opportunity you can?
But Brisa with the save there. Brisa settled down well. He had that shaky start, led in a couple of goals and 2 or 3 rebounds that had us drawing our breath in a little bit sharply here in the commentary position. He seems to have settled.
That's right, he made a couple of nice stops there so far during this power play.
Well, the pressure remains for Czechoslovakia. CIS looking for that third goal. The Czechs still unable to clear their lines.
At the moment, the Czechs are still doing a real good job of keeping the CIS on the outside. I mean, they've now cleared the puck. Team isn't going to score a goal from way off in the boards, away in the corner, and that's exactly what they're doing. On this, well, they're killing this penalty.
Trefilov gives it to his defenseman Karpovcev. First man there, just the CIS player. Important interception there. And collision there, all within the rules.
So that's what happens when you try and get a little bit too fancy in the center zone. You leave yourself wide open to get run over by somebody.
Still the pressure on. Petrenko getting it across, but now the breakaway. Can the Czechs get it this time? No, lost control of it. Almost as if he took his eye off the puck, looking to where he was going to place it.
Yeah, like you said, Russo doesn't look like he's had a tremendous game by his standards anyway, and that was another one right there. Breakaway, and he just totally lost the puck.
Embarrassment there for Peter Rosol. Clean through and not even getting a shot off. That's a rookie mistake. Let's just take another look.
He's clear here. He's going in, and I think I think he took his eye off the puck. He decided that he was going to make the deke and not have the shot, and then when he looked down again, the puck wasn't there.
A rookie error from the veteran 27-year-old Peter Rosol. He really should have put that one away. been the story of the Czech game so far, really, hasn't it?
Just wasted opportunities.
Failure to capitalise on the opportunities that have come along, because they have had them. And here's another one, possibly. And I think the number 15 there, Alexei Kudashov, could be in a bit of trouble. There's Smirnov, but it's Kudashov that is going off the ice. Looked like a trip there, as we'll get another chance to see it. And so Czechoslovakia will go to the power play once again, still trailing by 2 in this Swedish pre-Olympic ice hockey tournament. Tripping the call. We'll be right back. So Czechoslovakia with another power play opportunity. Kudashov sitting this one out for tripping. And around halfway through this final session, they've really got to get it together fast. Instead it's the CIS looking for a short-handed goal.
Yeah, the Czechs have been given enough opportunities during this game to tie it up, go ahead. I mean, they've had more power play opportunities, and they really haven't done anything. I think I can count 3 really good scoring opportunities off power plays that they've had so far during this game. And if you can't make those situations count, you're not going to win your hockey game.
So overall, a disappointing performance then from the Czechs. The CIS seem to have wrapped it up in the first half of that first period.
It looks like it could have taken the wind out of them a little bit, and then by the time they got themselves sorted out, they got to that 2-man power play, and they couldn't score then again. But
that seemed to really slow them down psychologically, didn't it? That 5-on-3, when they failed to do anything, they've really not looked sharp since.
That's right. They took it out of them, and it really gave the CIS something to play for again, thinking, well, we're still ahead, and we just killed the best opportunity maybe the Czechs are going to get during this game.
Well, really, 5-on-3, you'd expect to score what, 9 times out of 10?
At least 1 goal. I mean, maybe not on both power plays, but you got to score at least once.
You've got to be looking to hit at the back of the net when you've got a 2-man advantage, and
that's right.
I don't think they really had a shot. Maybe one that got gloved up. That really.
They had 2 good shots. They had a slap shot from the side of the net, and they had a pass right across where Trefilov made a tremendous stop on.
Now opportunities again for the Czechs. Back deep, they do like their slap shots. Trefilov looks like a tough guy to beat from that kind of range. Another opportunity coming in, and Trefilov again.
Big stop there. Yeah, they're having a lot of long-range shots, but I think any chance you're going to beat this guy is in close.
Yeah, he does give up a couple of rebounds, Trefilov, and of course if you've got a man in close, there's another opportunity there we see to prove the point. Had somebody been, say, 3 or 4 feet away, I think that was more luck than judgment there from Trefilov, but the luck, when the luck's on your side, it's on your side.
He's probably going to be needing some paracetamols after this game for that one.
Yeah. Well, he saved it with his feet, with his pads, with his stick, with his arms, and now with his head.
Good goalkeepers make their own luck, especially in this level, I'll tell you that. The Czechs just now don't seem to be able to settle down at all, no matter what the situation is. They still got the majority of the play. They just can't get any chance to score goals now. They're not getting any type of opportunities to get a good shot away.
A very frustrating afternoon, a very frustrating way for Czechoslovakia to open up this Swedish pre-Olympic hockey tournament. Sweden and Canada, the other 2 teams taking part. Canada, of course, very tough. You'll have seen them winning the Canada Cup here on Screen Sport a few months ago. Back last August, September time. Got to fancy the Canadians to pick up a medal of some hue at the Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
CIS, well, they'll be there or thereabouts as well, and Sweden, slightly unknowns, I think.
Yeah, they've got quite a few ex-NHL players with a lot of experience and a lot of hockey playing experience that could make it very tough. They did real well at last year's World Championships with these players, and the team looks like a very strong team. They look like the real gold medal prospects that everybody's tipping. The Canadians at the moment are the team that they've got quite a few professional players, but no real big names except for the young junior player Eric Lindros that everybody's talking about. He's participating, I believe, in this tournament and definitely in the Olympics. So the CIS or another, obviously now would look like a very strong, quite a strong team, though they're a young, inexperienced team. So I mean, you got 3, maybe even 4 of the teams that everybody's expecting to pick up medals during the Olympics right here.
That's Eric Lindros, the #1 pick in the NHL, picked by Quebec, and has intimated that he's not overly keen on playing for the Nordiques, which I suppose, given Quebec's current situation, is understandable. But Lindros has made the trip with Canada, although whether he'll participate in this pre-Olympic tournament remains to be seen. Now another breakaway for the Czechs. And another shot from a long way out. More in hope than anticipation, I think, that one.
It's getting to be desperation time now, I think, for the Czechs. Any shooting opportunity is going to be taken, and anything they can get a chance just to get it on net, and hopefully something will go past this guy. But the way Trefilov's played up till now, I don't think they're going to get anything past him.
So time now becoming a factor, and it's another factor that is against Czechoslovakia. CIS, this is their bench, very much in control. There's a look at the clock. 13:53 gone. Time running out, covering up Trefilov. And so the Czechs frustrated again. They'll be looking for another quick opportunity. But I think when the two coaches assess this game, Darryl, there'll be some positives for both of them, but I think the Czechs will be saying to themselves, well, we've got to sharpen up in front of the net.
They've got to be making scoring opportunities. They've got the majority of the play. They're at times dominating the CIS, but they're just not getting, I think, maybe 3, 4 at the most good scoring opportunities, and haven't taken any of them. Where the CIS have maybe had 5, but they've scored on 2 of them, and that's the whole difference of the game right here. It's okay having the majority of the play and having the majority of the shots on net, but if those aren't good scoring opportunities and you're not making the most of them, it really goes. It's just a statistic that doesn't really count for anything.
That's right. Nobody forward for the CIS. I think their bench has decided that what we have we hold. And indeed, why take any unnecessary risks when you're 2 up late in the 3rd session? But here they come again. Another one now really would put the seal on quite an all-round performance from the CIS. Their penalty killing has been exemplary. And Darryl, as you said, when they've had their opportunities, they took enough of them to make it count, but their penalty killing really the feature.
That's right. They've drawn a lot more penalties today than the Czechs have, and so the Czechs have a lot more power play opportunities.
Oh, that's a big hit coming in there.
Oh, that was totally unnecessary, I think.
And Peter Breeze is looking very, very shaken up, and a bit of anger from the Czechs. That's understandable. The officials very quick to sort that one out. Borchevsky, the man who did it. There he is. And that sent Peter Breeze's helmet flying, and Breeze shaken up on the play. Let's have another look at it, and well, judge for yourself.
It isn't as bad as it could be. He kind of tried to just take him a little bit, not really run him over too badly, but he hit him. That's really unnecessary, really. I mean, a goalie is fair game out there, but you go hit a goalkeeper, and you're going to cause a little bit aggro from both sides. I mean, it's really an unnecessary move.
I must admit, having seen it from that second angle, it wasn't as bad as it first looked, certainly from where we first saw that, that looked like a real cheap shot, and looking at it again, perhaps Nikolai Borshevsky can't be accused of that, but nevertheless, unnecessary, as you say.
That's right. I think he tried to just cut him nice and close and maybe give him a bit of a scare or just brush him, and the goalie stuck his head down into his shoulder pad. Well, definitely a penalty. There's no doubt about that.
The Czechs trying to bring it out once again.
Well, the Czechs again still got an opportunity to score a goal here, man advantage, and they can barely get it into the CIS's end.
They've got a chance now on the power play, and another long shot. Their strategy, I'm afraid to say, has become very predictable.
That's right. I mean, I think their ideas now are let's just try and get as many shots as we can on net, and pray something goes past them.
Svela looking to clear his nines and to build once again. Again, another long shot that doesn't trouble anybody in particular. Still on the power play. Peter Rosol. The shot comes in from Kastak.
There's a good chance there on the rebound, and they couldn't even get to the rebound.
I think Peter Rosol's going to be in a little bit of trouble here. The Czech number 10. Well, he's had a lousy game, this fella.
I think that penalty there is just total frustration. I believe he was the man who missed a chance on the rebound, and then trying to turn for the puck just upended the CIS player.
So with less than 3 minutes remaining, Peter Rosol draws a 2-minute penalty for interference. There it is, and that'll more or less finish his afternoon's work. And you can see from the look on his face that's what he thinks about this first Swedish pre-Olympic hockey tournament. Not one to remember, and I don't think when the most valuable player awards are assessed for this one, I don't think Peter Rosol's name is going to be high on anybody's shortlist.
No, I don't think even on his own. I think he just wants to game 10 so he can go have a shower and get it back on the team bus again.
But I think we can safely say he'll be playing a lot better in Albertville.
Oh yeah, I mean he's been around quite a bit, and I guess he knows what it takes to perform, especially in the big games. And this is like it is a pre-Olympic tournament right now.
The Czechs looking to salvage a bit of pride here. That was going in hard. There was Jelinek.
It's a nice play by the goalkeeper against blocking that pass coming out in front.
Jelinek right in the thick of it. Another hard slap shot goes right into the middle of Trefilov. Trefilov buries it.
Don't know if he stopped that or that thing just hit him.
Well, he was in the way of it, whichever way you look at it.
Yeah, he comes right out. See how he comes right out to the puck? There's no place that puck is going really, unless it's one superb shot. He came right out and met that puck, and he just hit him. That's half of what being a goalkeeper is.
So Trefilov once again thwarts Czechoslovakia. And there you see the clock, 2 minutes and 11 seconds to go. Well, there have been bigger comebacks than this before, but I'd be very surprised if the Czechs turn it on here.
Yeah, I think the CIS are just looking to just close the doors and finish the game off ahead, and the Czechs aren't mounting any real surge to try and tie the game up or get ahead.
Indeed, the puck now at totally the wrong end of the ice rink as far as the Czechs are concerned, but here they come again, looking at least to get on the scoreboard. And who knows after that? But it's the CIS, control in the middle of the rink. Leo Gudas can come back and get the puck. Gudas just killing the clock. This one, I think, in the history books, what lessons do you think the CIS will have learned from it?
The CIS, I think they've played a pretty fair game. I know they've probably by now picked their #1 goalie for the Olympic tournament. If these are the two goalies they're going to use, they'll use Trefilov definitely. And I think for a lot of these young kids who haven't had a lot of experience, this is their first real chance of international hockey, and here we go. Now they've all been blooded, as the expression goes, and they're having a good look and seeing from there. I think for the Czechs, they're going to have to sort themselves out about getting more scoring opportunities. It comes down to be as simple as that.
Peter Rosol wanders back out for the last few seconds, but there's a breakaway on here. The until Peter Breeze comes out and wraps it up. And here goes Rosol, those locks flowing. Rosol looking perhaps for one last shot. Doesn't get it.
That's not been his night, has it?
Petrenko could do something here. Good defensive play there. And here he is again. Our man Rosol tries a shot, and once again Trefilov is behind it, but it's still not away. Rosol right in front of the net. Trefilov gets there first. Pressure still on, and gloving up Trefilov from Yuri Slager. And that's an appropriate way for this match to wrap up. The Czechs had 3 chances, and 3 times Trefilov denied them.
That was a good stop, that last one. I mean, I don't think the guy really needed to take the stop shot. Here's the first one, but he should actually have held on to that, but he made a good stop. It's good. Rosol misses it there. And here comes the big slap shot, and he catches her. That's good goalkeeping. He came right out and met that shot. I don't think that goalie, the only chance he really would have had a chance of scoring there against Trefilov was if he shot the puck straight through him or drilled him into the back of the net with it.
That's right. In the last 10 seconds, Andrei Trefilov was not going to be denied, and there you can see he's just got 2 more seconds to hold out, and he'll have his shutout, and that's it. So 2 goals in the first 7.5 minutes are enough. The CIS win the opening game of the 1992 Swedish pre-Olympic ice hockey tournament. 2-0 victors over their old rivals Czechoslovakia. And the man getting the congratulations, well, inevitably really